Greetings, fellow Ventrac owners and enthusiasts. I'm making another short video regarding pricing. Just watched one of Blue Cord's videos on pricing on a basin, how to measure it, and I thought it was a really good video, and I thought I wanted to add a couple things to it. I have a Ventrac, Kubota L4400, a Kubota M7060, a John Deere 1445 Series 2. That's four-wheel drive. Got the dual wheel kit in the front there and has a flail more in the front. I got for my Bobcat. My Bobcat's in the shop right now getting some cylinders rebumped, but I got a heavy-duty brush cutter, dozer blade, a root rake grapple to do cleanups and stuff. So that's really handy. But one of the things, I guess the rule of thumb is, whatever the market will bear. I don't know if anyone's read anything on economics or John Adams' Wealth of Nations, but just basic economics. You charge whatever the market will bear, and what has the limits on whatever the market will bear have to do with supply and demand. If there are 100 guys or companies lined up around the block to do what you're the service that you're offering, well, you won't be able to charge as much. There's always going to be somebody going to compete on price. That's why we get better and bigger equipment, so we can compete on price and hopefully be able to do it faster. And that was my goal. And turns out I still charge more because I can do it all right now. So say I had to do a hillside for that my Ventrac can handle, and it was maybe 20 degrees. It would take a bunch of guys, say 3-4 guys with weed whackers, say all day to do it, and I can do it in a couple hours. A lot of them would rather have me do it, and even though I charge more, a lot of times because they're not sure that these guys are going to come back, or they're going to finish it, or how good a job they're going to do. And then trying to find 4 guys with weed whackers that do it, because you don't have them. The homeowner doesn't have them, doesn't want to lend them to, doesn't want to use their equipment. They use a lot of day laborers here in San Diego County, and I'm in right next to Riverside County, and so I do a lot of work in the neighboring county. And of course, I charge more. I charge more to go further away. The further away I go, the more money I have to make. I charge for travel time. I don't necessarily tell them that. I just quote the price. I do most of the quotes on the phone. I said, send me some pictures, describe the work to me, and I'll tell you what it is. Most of the work I do is mowing, but I do a lot of grading and stuff. But you got to remember, what's your competition? If you have no competition, you can charge pretty much whatever you want. And if people need it done, they're going to do it. They're going to pay it. Whether it be just straightening out a road, or cutting a pad, or scraping some old vegetation off, whatever it is. The only limit is what they're willing to spend or do it themselves. So sometimes I just ask them, well, what's your budget? And if they're telling me, $200-300, I say, yeah, sorry, my minimum is $500. My minimum to come out there is $750. Depending where I'm going and what I'm taking. If I'm taking a Bobcat, what they want grading. I mowed a row of oleanders with my heavy-duty brush cutter here. It was probably 20 feet long, and the oleanders were probably about 8 feet high. It took me less than an hour with this thing, and I got it down to the dirt, and it looked great. $750. That may not seem like a lot to some people. It might seem like a whole lot of money to make in an hour, but it took about 40 minutes to get there, 40 minutes to get back. The fuel, I'm running a 7.3 diesel with a V8, so at today's prices, all that comes into account. But they know things cost. But again, what is the competition like for the services you're offering? I specialize in under 5 acres. I'm not really having to rent a bulldozer to go cut pads on whatever 15, 20 acres. So that being the case, there aren't a lot of engineering companies that are willing to go out and cut you a little pad for your little studio or your little shed that you want to put in your backyard. Because there's a lot of costs involved and a lot of manpower and equipment and move on and move off expenses. So they're not really competing with me. So their minimum might be $15,000, $10,000. They're not going to go start a job for $1,000, $1,500. So knowing that that's my upper ceiling or the beginning of the end, that's my competition. And small guys, they don't even have a tractor. What are they going to do? Come out there with shovels and wheelbarrows? So you got to consider, you can look on your Facebook or Craigslist, wherever people advertise for the services, and call them and check, price check them. People check me all the time. And when I know that they're price checking me, because they're competitors, I tell them, hey, keep your prices up. Just not try to destroy our business competing on price. There's plenty of work for everybody, and there has been. I have got another friend started in the business, and they're doing well. Bought new tractors, new trailers, and they're doing well. They're getting the calls and doing the work, and some of them even charge more than I do. I've even had customer call me and him at the same time, and my friend charged quoted him double what I charged, and he got it. I even texted the guy, why would you pay double? But he never asked me. But point was that you can get more. He did go on do on-site estimate. I don't normally do on-site estimates unless it's a real complicated work, because it just I don't want to do free estimates. There's no such thing as a free estimate. It takes time, effort, money, and I don't want to get bit by a rattlesnake, walking around a couple acres of dry grass. Now here in San Diego County, people generally mow their fields or whatever lots that need mowing by order of the fire department once a year, because they don't want to pay to have it done any more than they have to. It's not for aesthetics, it's just for fire safety. But there's plenty of work. There's more work than I think there are people out there able to mow it all. And so I tell people, get as much as you can. Some people are charging like $100 an acre. So that's crazy. That's like minimum wage. There's an easier way to make that kind of money after you pay off of your fuel, your depreciation, parts, travel time. And you got to remember, you're bringing like $100,000 worth of equipment to a job site. This 1999 Ford pickup is over $20,000. Never mind the rack and the fuel and the toolboxes. A trailer, $4,000 or $5,000. The tractor, there you go, $30,000. The implements, but all the stuff you gotta account for, wear and tear on, and insurance, and on top of all of this is the talent on top of it. Not everybody knows how to operate a tractor or wants to operate a tractor. They want you to pay. So I generally, like I said, I have a general estimate in my head of how long it takes me to cut, mow grass or dry grass or weeds or a field. And I can generally do an acre in about 30 minutes. And that's probably like dry, knee-high grass, dry grass, whatever, even on a hillside with this Ventrac. And at $250 an hour, or $250 an acre, that's $500 an hour. And I get sometimes $900 an acre. Where there's a few trees in the way, there's rocks, hasn't been mowed in a few years, and they need to get it done. And if I'm really busy, I'll just, like, man, I've already did 2 jobs today or 3 jobs today, and I'll just, throw a price out there and say, okay, let's do it, and I'll run out there and get it done, make $900 in another hour. Yeah, and then there's, oil and air filters. Really dusty out here, so I gotta change air filters quite a bit, blow them out, clean them out, greasing. So there's a lot of time involved in maintaining the equipment. Also, my contract says that I'm not responsible for any damage, even a fire or fines. I had a friend who got a $10,000 fine by the county because she was disking a field, and they fined her because of the dust. She wasn't keeping the dust on the property. And man, they stuck to it. $10,000. Ouch. So my contract says that the homeowner is responsible for the fines, a fire, my lawyer to defend me. I do have liability insurance, but tell them, well, that's if I run your foot over or something, But I hit a rock and it goes through your window. Well, that could might as well have been you on the tractor. It's your rock, your window. If you were on the tractor, you would have done it. It's not like I'm trying to. So if you don't want me to mow near the windows, I won't. Or you want to put some plywood up or something. If I'm that close to a house or a car, move it or protect it. But my contract also says that the homeowner warrants that this property or the fields are free of any kind of hazard that will damage my equipment. And I charge $150 an hour for downtime, and sometimes I have to pull out baling wire, twine, mattresses, all kinds of stuff gets stuck in there. Mattress springs, pardon my pigs, they're squealing there, but you got to charge for that, you got to plan for that, and it does take a lot of experience of knowing that like this stuff is going to happen, and how to mitigate the cost to yourself. And like I said, I put it in my contract. I haven't had it challenged yet. People pay it. I show them pictures. Look, this thing broke one of my flails. This thing, got wrapped in here. I was on my back in the dirt, with wire cutters under there for half an hour to get this free again. Oh, I'm very sorry for well, I got to charge you another $100, $150, $75, something. And just like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. So, you can price check your competition in your area. If you don't have any competition for whatever you're offering, snow plowing or grading or mowing weeds or whatever it is, then again, it's solely up to what the customer it's worth to the customer. And that's why I ask them, a lot of times I'll ask, well, what's it worth to you? What's your budget? What are you planning to spend on? Sometimes they don't know. Well, I don't know. I was hoping you can tell me. I said, well, how good do you want it? What are your plans here? Are you selling tomorrow? Do you want to just get it out of, get it in compliance so you don't get a ticket by the fire department or whatever it is that they want to do? And sometimes I have to give them ideas. They bought blank land, and they want to put a trailer on it while they're building. I said, okay, I give them some ideas of drainage and cutting a pad for their trailer, and close to, make some parking for them. If there's a lot of brush, clear that for them so they can park their trailer in one spot and build close to it, close by, so they don't have to move it later. But I charge for all that stuff, especially if I have to go on site. But normally I do all the quotes over the phone with pictures, and I get the job. I run out there and do it. Another thing I do, because I do think I'm charging as much as I can get in premium price, I go out and do it right away. I don't wait for them to shop my my price around town. If there's somebody else, like they might change for go with somebody else, cancel with me and go with somebody else for $50 difference. So I try to do it same day, if not the next day. But anyway, leave a comment, like, subscribe if you I don't put that many videos out here, but every now and then I think there's something that I think people would like to know. If you want a copy of my contract or something, give me a call or message me, and I'll be glad to oblige you. Thanks again.